Hi everyone, welcome to my second video update of my Engage layout Reggington, which you can see behind me is finally starting to take shape. It's been a few months since my first video back in June when I had nothing but some baseboards up here. It's been summer, it's been hot, it's been busy, I'm in the loft, so progress has been slow, but I'm finally getting to a point where I'm pleased with the way it's looking. So I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and take you for a little walk around and show you what I've been doing. So here we are with the start of the town of Reggington and my main station. I'm really pleased with how this area is coming on. It's reusing quite a bit of old Metcalf kits from my last layout, which was down in the garage. It was a much smaller space down in the garage, so there's some new buildings that you can see that I'm starting to build. That one I've just started on. The department store is completely brand new. Some of the models that I had on the last layout, like this one here, I'm hoping to reuse, but you can see here I've been a bit heavy-handed with the old matte spray on it, but we'll see what we can do, see what we can fix. But basically, if I take you very slowly around the loft so as not to make you too dizzy, we have what looks like a baseboard, but actually is my storage yard, but I'll come back to that in just a second. And then I've got double tracks running through the station right now. Station is still work in progress, as is the platforms. And coming through we have double tracks, and once we get to here things start to not go wrong but not be complete. So what I've got is my two high-speed lines, which are going to be electrified and they're concrete, and then my two older lines, my regional lines, which are wooden sleeper, coming around as well. What I've actually done, if you look around the loft, is the high-speed lines, the concrete lines, are complete. I have a full loop, which basically means I can run trains at long last after about 6 months of not being able to run trains. My other line, when it comes out of the station, it's actually going to be elevated over in this back section, so that's why that's not down yet. I've been playing around with different gradients and different materials, which I'll talk about a little bit more in a while. And then also you can see here I've just started just this week to lay down some track for what is going to be my TMD. Now none of this track is fixed down yet. This is just me playing around, trying to get a rough idea of what to do. I actually have the Scenecraft engine sheds, and I've also got some of the Pico grey ones, and I'm just trying to work out which ones I want when, how I'm going to do them. But I'm quite happy with that idea, that layout that I've got down there at the moment for the TMD. If anybody has any ideas, thoughts, suggestions, how it could be improved, please let me know down in the comments. And behind it, I am going to have a curved point coming off there and just have a small network rail style storage yard over there. I've got some nice network rail coaches and some more wagons on order, pre-ordered, so it'd be good to have somewhere to store them. I ground to a halt because I actually ran out of points, but I've had a delivery this week and hence things are starting to move again here. If we move further around towards the back there, you can see not a lot. I had some foam left off of some building work that we had done in the house, so that's perfect. It's 2 inches, it's the height I want, so I've kept a hold of that. And then you can see here some of these woodland scenics risers that I've been playing with. I find them really easy to use, and they're the perfect width to do a double track in Engage, so I can show you just there. So I'm probably going to use these, and I'm going to be using a 2% gradient, which I think is probably as high as I want to get away with in Engage, but that's what the plan is with those. Continuing, if you look around, you can see the track moving down. I've tried not to keep it too straight, and I have included some super elevation as well. So if I just move down here, I've packed up under the tracks with some pieces of plastic card on the corners. It's Engaged, so it's not going to make a huge amount of difference, but when your train does come round, one of my high-speed trains, you can tell, so it does make it look quite nice. continuing to make my way around the loft, and here is the start of my viaduct, which is been a bit of a nightmare to build. It took absolutely ages to build, and if I zoom in on it a little bit, it is painted up. I just need to add a little bit of stuff to hide some of these joins, but that's easy enough done. What I wanted was this buff coloured stone and not the grey coloured stone, and pretty much everywhere you look, tutorials and so on online, it's always grey stone. So it took a little bit of practice and a little bit of playing around, but I'm very happy with the results. It does need toning down a bit of a blast with some matte varnish even. But I'm really happy with that. And you've got the brickwork underneath, and you've got the chalk staining and so on under there as well, salt staining. So really happy with that. And then behind here, we will have another 2 lines, which will be kind of out of sight on this point. So if you imagine taking pictures from kind of down here, you'll not see them lines, and then they'll appear around there out of a tunnel. These risers are fastened down, but it doesn't go any further just yet. And then as we continue to come around off the viaduct, trains disappear, and this is eventually where I'm going to have a nice big town scene. This is also what has took up loads and loads and loads of my time this summer, and hiding under here is a 13-lane fiddle yard, which is complete. What I'm going to do is, I haven't actually attached this unit yet, so I'm going to take it off and show you the fiddle yard. So let's do that now. So here we are with the cover took off the fiddle yard. 13 lanes I've got lanes that will fit DMUs, smaller lanes there, some slightly bigger lanes, and then I can also fit in full length high-speed trains as well. You can see there I have got a class 43 with 8 coaches on it. Yeah, just double checking, 8 coaches on there at the minute. And as well as the 13 lanes, I've also got my programming track right here as well. So I'm really pleased with that. The next job on this is to get all the point motors fitted, and there is a lot of point motors to fit here. I am going to be using the DCC Concepts Colbert point motors, and I've got one fitted so far right there. That is the only one, so there's quite a bit of work, but I do have a full box over there of 12, which should pretty much get this fiddle yard done. In the fiddle yard, I've used all of my old points from my last layout, and all of those points are electrofrog points, and the frogs on all of them have been wired as well. If you come under the layout, you can see the green wires hanging, waiting to go into the point motors. So hopefully that should keep all of those older point motors running nicely. And then out on the scenic part of the layout, I have switched to using the medium radius unifrog points, and I have to say, so far I'm really pleased with them. There is a couple of small isolating joints, which if you want things to look really prototypical, probably don't, but I've got to say it has made the running so much smoother and so much better. I'm really pleased with them, so I purchased more of them, and I'm going to continue using them on the rest of the layout in all the scenic areas, and just keep my electrofrog points there. I do have to use a few curved points, and where there's going to be curved points there will have to be electrofrog, because that's the only option I have from Pico at the moment. But that's fine, we'll keep going with that. That there is the framework. Now once I get all the point motors in, I will fasten that down so that it sits on top permanently. This bit down here actually lifts off. I've just got some weights holding it down at the moment, because the lovely people at B&Q didn't store it flat, so it's got a little bit of a curve in it. So hopefully leaving that flat with some weight on it will get that nice and flattened down. But that will just lift off. You can just about see this. I can access the track at the back. I do only have points at one end, because I wanted to get maximum length to fit full rakes of high-speed trains in. I haven't put points at that end. That doesn't concern me too much because it's just an area to store locals, and I can bring a local out and I can instantly change tracks here, depending on what lane that I want it to run on, and the same on this side here. And there's another point further down inside the station as well. So happy with that. The next thing I need to do is work on this back area, because this is the same height as when the cover is on here. However, I was using this insulation foam and I actually detest it because it's really messy, it's really dusty. You can see there, just touching it you get covered in it. So I've got lots and lots of that polystyrene type foam. I've got a hot foam cutter, so I'm going to use that and replace all that all the way along. Get the rest of the back scene on down here as well, and keep going to here. This is the area I'm going to be focusing my attention on this side of Christmas. We'll be getting the TMD done, the town area and the station done as well. Those of you who looked at my last video might recognise that I've now got a different station canopy. It's not quite attached and all joined up and so on yet. I'm still working on it, but this is my station building, and it's a scale scenes building. It's all wired up, ready for lighting it up and so on. And I had started building a canopy, which is here. It's a bit of a monster to go with it. It's still not finished. I started this probably in January this year. It's a bit big, and I've kind of fallen a little bit out of love with it as I was building it. I'm not happy with the joins and just bits of white card, and I probably could, if I put enough hours into it, get it to a point that I'm happy with it. The other issue with it is it's really hard to see into, so once I've got trains in it, you can't really get very good running shots. So I've ditched it to one side, and I've invested in one of these new station canopies. Still needs a bit of work, so please don't judge it too much yet. It's still a work in progress. This is from Scenic, and if you just look inside of it, the detail is really, really good, and I'm really, really happy with it. So a little bit more work on it. I have customized it a little bit using some Scale Scenes papers inside the roof there, but a bit more work on that, and then it should be in a good place. Get the roof weathered, work out how I'm going to attach the station building to it, and get some coping stones along the roof, and as I say, some weathering done, and that should be looking pretty good after that. I'm going to pretty much leave it there for now. As I mentioned earlier, I have got 2 loops of track. That doesn't mean I can run trains, so I'm going to leave you with a few running shots. It's not very scenic as yet, but hopefully you'll enjoy it. I've got my Graham Farish Class 91 there, and also I've got my Class 43 there, which is a Dapple. I've got a Dapple Pacer and a Graham Farish Class 47 as well, so they've been running around the layout, and I will leave you now with a few running shots. I'm going to be away now for the next few weeks, so I will try and get an update a little bit quicker than you've waited 3 months for this one. I'll try and get another update out next month in October, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments, please leave them below. If it's your first time watching one of my videos, please subscribe, and I will catch you soon. Thanks, bye bye.